Black magic.
You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
Welcome back, everybody, and necromancers across the globe. Hey, it's another edition of RatG TV. It's your boy Zeus here with you, along with my boy, the Welland Wignut, Steve Lambert. How goes it, brother?
It's good. You?
I mean, all right. I feel like I've got rocks in my head, or I'm surrounded by mountains because I see nothing but rock around me. Oh, maybe I'm just in a Welland bar.
Or maybe you're in M. Night Shyamalan's latest movie.
Old. Are you saying I'm old?
No, you're surrounded by
But
rocks.
But if I am old, does that mean I'm actually young? That would only happen to me, though, where I would be, I'd be young, but I would get old.
Benjamin Button.
Evening, guys. Much love from Guernsey in the Channel Islands. Guernsey. Jesus, Steve, your head's upside down. No, it just looks that way because he lost a fight with a lawnmower.
I was actually just at a Richard Mole convention.
That is an old school shout out for the Night Court fans out there. And that's us. That's it. That's just you and I. Maybe Marshall Warfield will be watching one day. Who knows? Why? Oh, why? Here we go. Mitchell says, hey, loving the Book of the Dead I saw.
Yeah, man. I got this thing custom made from a guy in Estonia. This thing is like so fucking cool, man. And of course I got the Bruce Campbell autograph up there. Burn this. It's just such detail in this book. It's unbelievable. This guy just did such a great job. Worth every penny.
And I mean, if there's someone that is going to, love this, it's going to be this guy.
I'm not even going to say what I paid for it.
Yeah. And why is that?
Because it was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was. And Amber's too close to earshot for you to actually say. So, ladies and gentlemen, unless you were living under a rock, you would have known that yesterday on Disney Plus Early Access, The Rock's newest movie that people have been waiting for, I guess, for over a year.
Yeah.
Because of COVID. The Jungle Cruise has come out, starring he and Emily Blunt. Now, that is the movie that you were doing for your 5-second movie review this week.
Yeah, I saw it last night.
I as well watched it. I watched it today. But I'm going to go with your review here, and we will concur afterwards or maybe differ. But because of that, we figured, why not talk about all things rock today? But we're not just going to be out here just, tickling the rocks, little pebbles. We're not going to just talk about our favorite rock movies. We're going to talk about our favorite and the worst.
Because there's so many.
There really
so
is.
So many rock movies, I mean.
With this list, there wasn't enough selections for us. We needed more than 3 each. I felt like I could have done, well, at least for the worst movies, I could have done a lot more than what we did. It's kind of amazing because I like The Rock in a lot of movies, but a lot of the movies that he's in, I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like him in it. I'm like, oh, Fast 7. I'm like, but then there was this part, and then there was that part. I'm like, but he was pretty cool in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the way it is. So we will be running those down for you folks. Let us know what you think. Luke Tuff says, poor Emily Blunt, bad back after carrying the rock through that movie. Yeah, you can call her Atlas after that one, that's for sure. And Mitchell says, Doom so bad it's good.
Oh, I forgot about Doom.
How did you,
You know what,
forget
though?
about Doom?
To be fair, I never saw it, so it wouldn't be fair for me to put it on either list.
I did see it, but he's very much like Steven Seagal in that Kurt Russell movie
Gotcha.
where we went. I forget, Executive Decision.
Yeah, that's the one.
Though they bill the whole thing as a Steven Seagal movie, and spoilers from 25 years ago, he dies in like the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not giving spoilers for both, I guess. But yeah, so we'll be going through all these movies anyways. There have been a shit ton of Rock movies. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, if you will. Appearances as well. You know, one of his first television appearances was on the television series Star Trek Voyager, where he was basically a wrestler. But still, he got to fight 7 of 9, which, hey, man.
Was he still portraying Rocky Maivia?
No, this was when he had moved on to The Rock. If he was
Okay.
Rocky Maivia at that point, he would not have been on TV anymore.
I remember. I hated him so much, and then
Rocky
when he
Maivia, because he was just all, call yourself a gamer, LOL. Doom was bloody awful, although I loved it. Listen, the one thing about Doom that I will give it credit for is Carl Urban is just fucking great in that movie. But Carl Urban is great in fucking everything he does. I don't care if it's playing Bones in Star Trek, whether it was that Being Human show that was on, or whatever it was, Almost Human, where he was the cop with the cybernetic fucking partner, whether it's him in The Boys playing Billy the Butcher, I mean, whether he's in Lord of the Rings, whether he's in Xena as fucking Cupid, or if he's in Xena as fucking Alexander the Great. The guy has just been in everything. He was in the Bourne series. He was one of the hitmen that went after Jason Bourne. He's fucking phenomenal. He's just one of those actors that he's been acting for 30 plus years, and people are just starting to realize how fucking good he is, which is so sad. Kat says Central Intelligence makes me giggle so hard.
I agree.
Yeah. You may see that on a list tonight, Kat. I'm not going to lie. Luke says Carl Urban is awesome and everything. Yeah, for sure. He made Dredd. He was in the good Judge Dredd movie. He was Judge Dredd. With Cersei herself. Lena Headey was in that as well. And Lena Headey might make my... she doesn't. But... And Mitchell says, I want them to do a Dredd 2 so much. Yeah, a lot of us would. That was a really good movie. I would like to see HBO Max pick that up as a series. I don't know if they have the rights to it, but I would love to see it as an ongoing series, just like The Boys. But he's so busy with The Boys and he's still doing movies. I don't know if he'd have the time for another series. His unicorn shirt in that movie makes life worth living, right? Right. Yep, Dredd 2 would have to be Carl. Oh, for sure. For sure. Carl Urban would have also been a really good choice. And I know it might be too late now because of the MCU. He's already been in it. But if we can't have John Bernthal again as the Punisher, although we had him as him in Netflix, if we can't make that work, I would see Carl Urban as fucking the Punisher. I think he'd be great, honestly. And let's not forget his great role as the executioner in Thor Ragnarok.
I never saw that.
No, he's like, oh, I'd like you to meet my new trophies I got from the land of Texas. And it was like 2 like AR-15s.
Nice.
I call them Destroy because when you put them together, they destroy. I don't know how this just turned into a Carl Urban show. We're supposed to be talking about The Rock, but they were in Doom together. So there's our 6 degrees of separation in just one move. Carla's Bones is epic. Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. I mean, like, so I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I was never a huge fan of the original series, but I did love the movies with the originals. And I think, what was his name? Gates McFadden that played the original Bones. But I think he would have loved Carl Urban's portrayal of him, of the same character that he played. Anyways, all that being said, I think we've blown Carl Urban quite enough on this Dwayne the Rock Johnson show. Come on the show, Carl. I'm sure you're not busy. You're just in Toronto, anyways, filming The Boys season 3.
Right? We could do it on location.
That's right. That's it. We don't mind. Like we're that benevolent as hosts that we would actually come to you. We would come to you. Oh, and I've gotten like a lot of followers lately with this Reels thing going on, and people keep like I get a lot of private messages, and I thank you for 95% of them because they're really, really, really nice and over the top nice. The other 5%, I wish you would just.
I apologize for the other 5%.
Yeah, I know. Like Steve, like seriously, I don't need to see your penis. But no, a lot of you keep saying that you see a similarity between my way of thinking and my views on life and on people and how people should get along. Very similar with Kevin Smith. And then you see Steve and I together, and you guys kind of put the two of us together, and you say you would like this. I've been told that people want to see me go on Fat Man Beyond and talk with Kevin Smith. Listen, I'm down for that too, but do you want to, like, I'm barely Facebook famous. Like, I'm Facebook known as that guy that just shows up across your feed for no fucking reason. But if you want to see that, and you know Kevin Smith, feel free to send it out there. Steve's had his picture taken with Kevin and Jay. We both like I listen to his podcast every week. I haven't for years, but I mean, yeah, we'll put that to you. But thank you. I appreciate the comparison, and you could see behind Steve's head there, or just be above it, or even on the poster, when our buddy Steve McGinnis, great artist, made our logo there for RatG Radio. His inspiration was Jay and Silent Bob. Back when Kevin Smith was still fat, though.
Right.
I don't even have that anymore. I don't even have that anymore.
Just don't do it the way he did it.
Oh, yeah. This is water tonight, no Red Bull.
And I, of course, I have my Canada Dry. You know, you can email me at wellandwingnut.com, and we can hook up a shipping address for promoting your product every week.
There you go. I like it. And Red Bull, send it on over. I'll take the heart attack. Welcome to the Jungle. I think it's called The Rundown for you guys, but I didn't mind that Rock movie. I like The Rundown a lot as well with Sean William Scott, Stifler. Good movie. Yeah. I'll stop messaging. Well, no, you're good, buddy. I watched a lady gush and blush hard from meeting you last night. Clearly, you be famous. Okay, so Steve, I told this story to Steve before the show started. And I won't embarrass. Well, I know it's not going to embarrass Kat, but I met Kat last night at a dispensary. And I showed up wearing my mask, and the lady that was working behind the counter, she's like, you know when people see you and they recognize you and they give you the head tilt with the cocked eyebrow, like, like she did that a couple times, and then she's like, I know you, right? And she's like, take your mask down. And I took my mask down, and I've never, ever had this ever happen to me with somebody just gush and go crazy. She's like, oh my God, you're that TikTok dude, dude. And I'm not even popular on TikTok at all. I've got like 500 followers tops. But for some reason, my TikTok videos do really well on Facebook, and that's where people follow me. But oh my God, she was above and beyond. Great fan. I've never had that moment before. She was incredibly nice to me, told everybody in the store who I was, including Kat there. And,
because we've run into people before, and they're like, hey, you're the RatG guys, right?
Yeah.
But they're not like, oh!
Dude, was it a full stop it, Luke. She was yelling in the store where she works, like legit, like she was yelling. And I'm glad that Kat brings this up, because if I bring it up, people are going to be like, oh, I'm sure you're embellishing. No, I mean, like, I have never, and I'm sure she's watching the show right now, and thank you if you are. Comment if you are, please. But yeah, very nice. Go check out her store, Inspired Cannabis. It is on Ontario Street in the Ontario Street Plaza, Welland, Ontario. They have some great stuff there. I was there buying stuff for my mother, believe it or not, because those who know my mother know. And I'll try to, when Steve's doing a story later, I'm going to try to upload a picture, a meme that I had earlier made that about us and Miley Cyrus. That one I found quite fitting, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Luke, she was me in drag. Is there a way to bleach your own brain from images that were just?
We know you're lying because we have a travel ban right now.
And it's nothing to do with COVID. We actually have a travel ban just on you, Luke. We love you. Thanks for gushing over Ryan, so him and I could become friends. Oh yeah. It's been really great, and I do appreciate that. And getting to know Kat and getting to know a lot of you. Like I said, a lot of you have been sending me messages. And once, like, COVID's pretty slow now. So, and once I have some more time, like Steve and I'll get together and maybe we can do some TikToks and put them up there as well, so you guys can get to see Steve on the reels as well. See the real reels with Steve. But yeah, it'll be fun. To be fair, if it was me in drag, you'd have heard "ooh la la." No, you mispronounced. You misspelled. Sorry. Love you, buddy. Love you. Let's get to it. We've been wasting enough time prior to the show here. We're on lockdown again. Mitchell, where are you, dude? You're in Sydney, aren't you? If I remember correctly, aren't you in Sydney, Australia?
I've been reading about Australia having a few mini outbreaks in some major metropolitans there.
And you know what? We're seeing the numbers on the rise throughout the states. The West Coast in Canada is fucking, like, BC's getting it again now too. I mean, it's not looking good. Like, we're at the. I was listening to Bill Maher last night, and he's like, whether you're for the vaccination or not, we're heading to a point in society where no matter where he's like, because I keep going to these parties and you're not allowed to go unless you can prove you're vaccinated, like all these big Hollywood parties. And he's like, that's just turning out to be the world. He's like, and that's going to end up being everything, like we've seen with, what are they saying with football? Like, if you refuse to get vaccinated, that's cool, you can play, but you're going to get tested, what is it, twice a day or something like that. And if you get COVID, you're out for 2 weeks, but if you're vaccinated, you get COVID, you're only out for a day or something like that. The whole team forfeits. Like, I mean, it is almost the point where you're like, yeah, just fucking do it just to get it over with. But because everyone's going to end up doing it. And I'm not saying for anyone to do that. I'm just saying I understand where they're coming from. Steve, I'm not singing anymore. The neighbors still want Bowie. Under pressure. Coming down on me, pressing down on you. Da, 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 da. I know that was a little bit of Freddie as well, and very, very off key. Thank you.
If you close your eyes, too. Right? If you close your eyes,
I know it was just like Freddie Mercury was singing, but if he was combined with David Bowie, so he was doing both parts on his own. Shut up! You love me. Some people do. I don't believe it either. All right, let's let us move on. Steve, you start us off. We are talking today about our top 3 favorite and our top 3 worst rock movies. I'm going in the order you gave them to me. You started from best to worst, and then I'm going to snake that and go worst to best for me.
All right,
so Steve, I'll let you start, buddy.
So surprisingly, I loved this movie, and someone had mentioned it earlier. Said it was a ton of laughs, and that's Central Intelligence with him and Kevin Hart. Just absolutely hilarious. I love The Rock when he's funny, and I think my list is going to reflect that. So,
yeah, man, this was a good movie. I like this one quite a bit. I think he's really funny in this movie as well. I couldn't get in time because we were running late. I couldn't get a good picture of him in the fat suit, but what an epic scene in the shower there before he gets thrown into the hallway. It is a ridiculous movie, but it's got a good heart, and that's what you know me. That's my thing. They got a good heart. I don't care how stupid you are. A lot of times, if you're getting the message out there, I love it. Cat says, love it. Him and Hart work so well together.
Yeah. I'd love to see them work together again. This next one, I didn't suspect
Jumanji.
this one.
What do you mean again?
What's that?
They did like 2 Jumanji movies. What do you mean you'd like to see them work again?
I'd like to see them work together again.
Oh, I thought you meant like they had never worked again since then.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. The next movie. I'm sorry, brother.
This next one I knew probably wouldn't be popular, and judging by the comments that we had on the post we had on Facebook earlier, I saw a few people mention it, but not hugely popular. This one was based on a true story about a real guy, Buford Puser. He was a former Marine, came back to his hometown, realized that the mill had shut down, and that the town had been overrun by crime and gambling and prostitution. And this guy was a one-man war on crime in his local town.
Yeah, man. Walking Tall.
Yes.
Great movie. Based on a true story, like you said, but also a remake. We see the original here. And yeah. But
that was in the 70s.
Say again?
I said the remake was in the 70s, not long after he died, because he died in a car accident in 1974.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow, I see stuff like that's sad. Like when somebody just has like a freak accident death after having such a good life and risking their life, you know. Mitchell says, great movie. Johnny Knoxville is pretty funny. Johnny Knoxville can do serious acting and funny acting. I wish he would have got more shots in Hollywood. I don't know why he's so blacklisted. I think maybe his choices maybe in some of the movies.
I just watched him in another movie, and I can't remember what it was called. Maybe someone can help us out. But it was him and Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, and it was also based on a true story. They were small-time drug dealers in a little hick town. I apologize for using the word hick, but
we live in a hick town.
Yeah, we do. So that's why I use that word, because I often refer to myself as an urban redneck.
Well, there you go.
Small-time dealers, and she decides that she's going to turn state's evidence and help take down like the big meth ring
down
the South, which it is. It's an epidemic in a lot of small towns in the South.
Yeah, and Southern Ontario.
In Southern Ontario as well, yes.
It's not exclusive just there. Johnny Knoxville in the sport camp movie. Can't remember the name. So funny. You're not talking about the only movie I didn't. You know what made it? He did that movie where he pretended he was handicapped so he could be in the Special Olympics or whatever. I think that had a lot to do with fucking him being blacklisted. Especially Southern Ontario. Yes. The Ringer.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised.
Right. Is that the one? Is that the same
That's
one?
The one.
Where you think oh my God.
Yeah. And it's him and the chick from ER.
There was only thousands of them.
Or not ER. Oh God. I can't think. Katherine Heigl.
Oh, the one that everybody loves. That says she's so nice to work with.
Yes, that's her. All right. Next one was a true story as well. I know, Ryan. I think we talked about this before. You weren't a fan of this movie.
No, honestly, if you didn't have this on your favorite list, this was going to make my worst list.
I honestly, I'm like, this is going to be on his worst list. I know it is.
It was literally going to be my number one. It was going to be my number one, and I'm just like, I don't like this.
Number one.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, this movie, and I'll let you go on, but this is my most least favorite rock movie. But it's not. Okay, so let me tell you why it didn't make my list. One, because it wasn't because it was my least favorite Rock acting. It was
Right.
my least favorite movie he's been
Okay.
in. I fucking hate this movie because everybody's acting in this is so bad, and the cinematography. I'm sorry, I'm stepping on your shit. But you give me your favorite. This is your number one.
So I love The Rock in this movie. This is also a true story. Pain and Gain is a story of a couple bodybuilders who end up kidnapping one of their former business partners and try and get him to sign over his life. The real guy being worth $1.26 million. They had him tied up and tortured for weeks, stun gunned, beat him up, just tortured this guy. And he actually, the real guy came out after this movie and made a statement and was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
made this a black comedy, man. Like, this really fucking happened to me, man. Not only that, they made him a douchebag in the movie, which he's actually a really nice guy.
They glorified the fucking bad guys in this movie.
Right.
They glorified the bad guys in this movie. Every single one of them was a hero. And you already know how I feel about Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg's character is actually on death row. He's appealing. He has not been put to death yet, but The Rock's character was actually a conglomerate of 3 different people that were involved in this. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, he's the only one with the skill that could have pulled that off, Norm.
Right.
Kidding. Luke said, I love you, Dwayne. Luke says, let's be fair. The Rock movies are like Dave Bautista. You love them or hate them. Listen, for me, it's different, though, because The Rock can act. And let's be fair. Dave Bautista's greatest role that he is known for is the one where his bad acting is a plus.
Helps.
If you've seen him in anything else, the movies are good. He gets cast in really good movies. Yeah. But if you notice, the better the movie, the less he talks.
Yeah.
Just saying. And no offense to Dave Bautista, because from all accounts, everything I've read and seen about him and watched, because I'm a big wrestling nerd, he's a really, really nice guy. But, I mean, I call it how it is when it comes to acting. Sorry. How I see it, though. That's just my opinion. For sure.
So my worst list, this one's a little easier to get through because it's just the worst. They're the worst. I remember my 5-second movie review from this first movie because it was I hated it so much. Rampage.
And I love this game so much. This arcade game was so good.
Oh yeah.
So here. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate this movie. You know why? It had that heart. It had but it was forced heart. Like it was very fake, forced heart. They tried to force a lot of that stuff with George, which I love the fucking shout out. To me, that was the shout out to fucking Of Mice and Men with Lemmy and George.
Yeah.
Lenny. But yeah. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, it was what it was. What did you hate about it? What did I hate about me, or what did Steve hate about this?
What did I hate about it? I don't know if I just expected more, or I don't know. It's just one of those movies. Just I never got into it from the start, and sometimes that happens.
He was yeah. So Greg said, talking about Bautista, saying he was pretty good Inspector. Did Dave Bautista say a single word Inspector? Because he was pretty good in that. And no, I don't think he said a single word in that. So he's good when he looks menacing, because you got to think he's got that wrestling background where the whole basis of wrestling in the old days was it was a carnival con. Like you were being worked is what they call, and I mean, so he was supposed to be able to fake the crowd into thinking what they do in the ring is actually not predetermined. I won't say it's not real because I work with wrestlers and I see how fucked up they get from doing these moves. But it is predetermined. So he does have that kind of scripting in him, especially after working with Vince McMahon for all those years. But he's just not good at any delivery, I find. And that movie is the perfect example of that. He looked great in Spectre because he didn't say a fucking word. So yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. But yeah, on to your next.
My next one, it was not my number one choice when I first thought of it, and then I switched it, which some people I know are going to disagree with my first one, but that's fine. Lists are to each their own.
Yeah, man.
This next one was widely hated. I think he was nominated for a Razzie for this. This is The Tooth Fairy. This was just like Rocky didn't have to do this movie.
But he did. He did. At this point in his career, he did. And as much hate as he took from adults, I had kids. And my kids watched this over and over again on DVD. Like it was, and that's all that matters. And that's what Disney saw.
It was the modern day nanny.
Yeah. And Disney saw that, and they were like, "Oh wow!" Because even Vin Diesel tried to replicate it basically with his the pacifier. I know he wasn't playing the Tooth Fairy, but it was a big muscular guy in a kid movie, right?
Yeah.
But I think Tooth Fairy made a lot of money. But yeah, I'm with you. It was not a good movie though. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle was good. The second, I didn't think so. Yeah, I'm with you there. Yes, I fucking hated this movie. Tooth Fairy suck candy ass. Right? Candy ass. That's awesome. And then your number one worst movie?
This next one is definitely, it had a great story, great message, but it didn't work on camera. To me, it's the worst football movie, and that's The Gridiron Gang.
So here's the thing. I am so happy to hear you say this for one reason only. And I know I put up two fingers when I said that, but there were two single fingers. One and one. My record of saying that every single football movie I've ever seen is a good football movie stays intact because I've never seen that movie. And now I don't have to. And I could still go around saying, far as I know, there's never been a bad football movie made. And even the football movies that I don't like still did really well in the box office. I'm looking at you, Adam Sandler, and The Longest Yard reboot. I don't know why I was looking off to my right there, but
and you love Necessary Roughness.
I loved it. Was Necessary Roughness was great. Kathy Ireland, fucking Scott Bakula, love that movie. Great movie. Yeah,
I did too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I love The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman. Like I've literally never seen a bad football movie. Little Giants, fucking great. We Are Marshall, great.
Program.
Remember the Titans, The Program. Any Given Sunday wasn't great, but it was good.
Yeah.
It was just long. Any Given Sunday is an awesome football movie. Kids movies and family movies do big box office, get the paycheck, and then roll the popularity into bigger, better roles. Yeah, exactly. That was my point with The Rock. Had to do that Disney movie to get where he is today. Above Suspicion, the Johnny Knoxville and Emil Clark, that's the movie. Good call, Mitchell. Good call. I remember that now. And that was Steve's call up. Good call. So that's your list. So I'm going to go over these real quick. Steve's top three best Rock movies were Central Intelligence, Walking Tall, and Pain and Gain. And his worst were Rampage, The Tooth Fairy, and Gridiron Gang. I didn't mean to laugh. I didn't mean to. Can't help it. Now I'm going to piggyback. I'm going to start with my top three worst Rock movies. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies, to be polite. I'm sure he'd like to be referred to as. Now, let me just say that with my list, if I was to do this tomorrow, it could be a completely different list. Honestly, there's shit that I forgot and other shit that I liked. I kept Ballers off the list, but I only like some of Ballers, not all of Ballers. Like the first season was really good, but I don't know what are they in season like 45 now. But yeah, all right, here we go. Sorry, I was looking at Luke here. So here's number 3 on my worst rock movies. Coming in at number 3 is the god awful Scorpion King, which to me this was really sad because I really liked the Mummy movie, or was it the Mummy Returns that he was in the first time with Brendan Fraser? I liked those franchises for what they were. They were pretty good, and I had a lot of hope for this.
I never saw any of these, so that's why this didn't make my list. Yeah.
Yeah, see, and I would have really wanted to enjoy his spinoff from that, the Scorpion King, but
Right.
this, I mean,
so someone put up the GIF with the claws snapping.
right? Like I'm just saying, yeah, it was the Mummy Returns that he came in, yes, and he was good in the Mummy Returns, but that was just like it was hot garbage. The Scorpion King and the Mummy 2 can't kiss my drunken whiskey ass loving goodbye. So they can stay with you? Is that it? Or is that just an autocorrect? Or is that just an auto whiskey tonight? Number 2 on my list could have been number 1. And this hurt me a lot because a lot of people that know me, especially Steve, and I don't know if this is well known for Steve, but growing up before we had superheroes and stuff, like my big thing was mythology. Like I loved Greek mythology, and I was always a big Hercules fan. Like Zeus was a nickname given to me. If I was going to choose a Greek nickname, it would have been Hercules instead. But until of course the Nutty Professor came out, Hercules. But speaking of which, my second worst rock movie ever is the Hercules movie that he made. The best thing to come out of these movies were the artwork. Honestly, it could have been so good. Ian McShane is in these movies as well. I mean, epic fight scenes. I think I forget who directed it, but they had a good director. The cinematography is great. It's just
Going back to
what you just can't do it.
Back to what you saying about nicknames or names being tied to things in movies, you know what I mean, pop culture, and then becoming part of your life. In high school, I was Dirt Face Steve for like a few months after Young Guns came out.
That's awesome.
Amongst a few people, I was Steve, and then of course
all the nicknames that I've heard, that's not one that I've heard about you.
And then of course, thank you, Adam Sandler. I was Scuba Steve for a while.
Yeah,
Scuba Steve, the Big Daddy.
Hey Nate, how's it going? Long time no see, brother. Hope you're doing well. Farmer life, it is. Yes. We are talking about the best and worst Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies. And Luke says, "Hey, it's Nathan. See, buddy, we are a big family here." I love to see that. How cool is that, though? That's basically we've got our Cliff and our Norm, and we have an extra though because like we have the original. The original is Daniel.
Right.
Well, actually, if we're to say it, the original is Hodges.
Yeah.
Right. Switzer, no, I really enjoyed Hercules. They explained the labors pretty well, and it had Ian McShane. No, I get it. It was just The Rock just didn't work in this movie for me. He should. If they were going to do that movie with The Rock, he shouldn't have worn a wig. He should never wear wigs. He should never wear straight hair, ever.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the Jungle Cruise, we will talk about that. It was Brett Ratner, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. Like I said, I love the director. I love the cinematography. I love Hercules. I love the 12 labors of Hercules. But I mean, to watch a Hercules movie as well, maybe this was my problem, especially when you got to get the 12 labors in. So much happens in the course of Hercules' life that the 12 labors could be encompassed over 3 movies or more. Like really. Like, so you could, like, I don't know. The movie just was too compressed for me. If you're going to do a proper Hercules movie on that scale and put that much into production, into cast, script. It can't be just a 2-hour one-shot deal. It has to be set up as a trilogy, in my opinion. I think that. At least that's my big problem with it. I'm going to throw this in the ring. Skyscraper is enjoyable. Maybe it would have been better with Batista. So funny that you say that because I couldn't use Pain and Gain as my number one worst rock movie. The actual movie that I did choose as the worst rock movie is indeed Skyscraper. Sorry about the picture there. It looked a lot better in high def before. But yeah, I mean, this movie tries way too fucking hard. Way too hard, and the fault line is real. but this movie, like that's where the realism starts and ends. I'm sorry. I just don't even know what to say about this movie. Like the acting is bad. Because The Rock is either good or bad. He's either good or bad in his acting, and this is one of the ones where, to me, it was pretty fucking bad. And yeah,
Did you was San Andreas?
No, because that almost made my list too. That was the one I was thinking about actually with the fault line. Because these two movies are the same fucking movie, except for this one, he's got a prosthetic leg. Tell me they're not. Tell me they're not the same movie. And you know what else is the same movie, except for they threw in video games? Rampage. All three of those movies are the same goddamn movie. Sorry, GD. Let me ask you this, as I put that out there. For the people who don't swear, but you say GD, or you say frig, or you say shoot, you know when you say that, we all hear it as swear. And if you just put out the initials, you're still that the intention is still there. So whether you say fuck or not, whether you say fuck or F, the intention is still there, which means, if you were telling somebody F off, it has the same intention as telling them to fuck off. So you might still remember, say the word. It's 2021. Grow up. It's words. They're words. They're not insulting anybody. Fuck is like my favorite word ever.
I remember when we were going to Plymouth. This was like grade 4. I still remember this. We were on recess, and I was I don't know what happened, but I was like doing like the Flintstones things, like frickin', and that's and the teacher grabbed me and like get against the wall. I'm like for what? She's like, you were swearing. I'm like, I was not.
Intention, buddy. It's all intention, and you get that as an adult, though, right? Like, and it's not swearing, but that's why I think I've always thought. Like profanity being shunned has always been stupid to me. Really. I mean, for lack of, I don't know, better explanation, it is almost the most effective way to emphasize your point is by adding some type of profanity because they're great adjectives. Like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going off being silly. Speaking of being silly, we just had a request from Luke.
Clanny.
Clanny is in the house. Worst movie for me has to be the remake of Race to Witch Mountain. I didn't hate it, but I think the reason why I didn't hate it so much is just because we got so many great memes from that. Just from The Rock looking back at the girl in the car. Sorry, that's where we got all our followers was from doing memes. I didn't like it either. Agree, it tries way too hard. Yep, it was a huge eye roll. You're right, Nathan. It sucked ass. I don't even know what everybody's talking about anymore now. Skyscraper and San Andreas were the same. Yes, they were. My favorite is Moana or Walking Tall. Moana was great. It really was a really good movie. Walking Tall, honestly, almost would have been one of my favorites. You know what I forgot to put on there? And did I finish my list?
I think you were done.
No, I didn't. That was my list for all the worst. I didn't put my last one on there that was for my best. Let me get through through my best real quick here. So one of my favorites. Now these I have more than just these, but these are the ones that just came to mind. The first one I put on there was one that someone said they hated, and I love this just because it was a movie that my kids liked, and that was Planet 51. And The Rock was in this one as well. And I mean, it was just a cute movie at the time, and it was one of those ones that we watched over and over again. So yeah, I dug it. I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but like I said, we were running late, so I kind of ran out of time there. I didn't put any of the rest of mine up there. So I also had on my list, though, my number one was going to be The Rundown. Him and Sean William Scott, love the two of them together. They were great in that movie. And they were also great in Planet 51 because that's who played, Sean William Scott played the alien that befriended The Rock when he landed on Mars or Planet 51, whatever it was. And my favorite Rock movie, I mean, I hate to say it, because I give the franchise so much heat. But Fast 7, it's when the franchise kind of got good again for a bit. It got good for a bit where The Rock, I think was it 7 where he was chasing down Dom Toretto in that, where he was the antagonist basically. He was the federal agent chasing down Dom. And this was a decent movie because it was focused on the cars still. It was focused on, the government chasing down Dom and his crew, and you bring in the biggest, most baddest guy on the planet at that point. And I liked it. I even liked the Hobbs versus Shaw for as stupid as it was. But and he said he's done though. He says he's done. He's not doing any more Fast and Furious movies. He wished Vin Diesel well and the rest of the crew with their future. But he's. I think he saw the cars flying in outer space and he was like, I'm good. I'm so good. Oh man, the poop's gonna hit the fan now. For which one I forget. It's all about intent. Yes, it is all about intent. Mine too. Best word. Exactly. Fuck is great. Adam Sandler said this best. I don't know if he originated it, but I heard it on a comedy album. Fuck is the most versatile word in the English dictionary because you can use it as almost every word in a sentence. You could say fuck those fucking fuckers and it makes complete sense. Nobody's like, wait, what? It's completely viable. So good. If you say F off, your grandma is not going to wash your mouth out with soap. If I say F off, well, my grandparents are dead. But if my kids were to say F off around my mom, she'd be like, fuck you. Or she'd backhand them because, my kids wouldn't say that to her. But they would swear around her. Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late. Just got home from work. All good, Will?
I don't swear around my mother. I never have.
Yeah. I never swore around my grandparents.
Yeah.
But that's because they were old school. My mom, I swear around because it's my mom. Like, anyone who knows my mom just knows.
Yeah, same with my dad. Like, every other word out of his mouth is fuck. So, yeah, of course I swear around him.
My mom doesn't even really swear all that much, honestly. It's just my mom ran a strip bar from fucking the 80s till the early 2000s. So, I mean, that shit never mattered to us. When will the Fast and Furious slow down and come to a complete halt, though? I mean, so here's my thing, and I was thinking about this too. Like these movies are so fucking drawn out, and like, oh my god, can they end? But then I look back at me growing up with James Bond movies and just fucking loving them and never wanting them to end. And you know what? I think in the world we live in with streaming services and movie theaters and everything else, there's enough room for everything. If you want more Fast and Furious movies, they're still going to make their billions of fucking dollars. So let them have it. I mean, they won't get my money. I mean, unless The Rock comes back. No, I'm just kidding. George Carlin and the word fuck. Yeah, George Carlin's great in the word fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's George Carlin came up with that first, and then Adam Sandler redid it. I can use cunt in the same way as fuck. Yeah, but you're British. Like the UK, like cunt is, you guys use that like we use the. I don't have a filter unless my mom walks within 50 yards and my mouth autocorrects to dang, shoot, gosh. Fair. You just have to use it with respect. As long as there's respect, that makes language versatile and honest. Fucking right. What would we mock without flying cars? Wait, what?
Flying bikes.
Flying monkeys? Cunt and twat. And why is moist so bad? Why do people not like moist? When did that become a thing? Like we were growing up, that was a key word that they would use in commercials for marketing all the time. If you were selling any kind of baked good, try our moist muffins, try a moist cake, try a moist blah, blah, blah.
You know what my word is that I don't like? And if you say it too many times in a row, it just loses all meaning. Rural.
That word is like trying to say Worcestershire sauce.
Right? Rural. Yeah.
Rural. We come from the rural area. If you're going to say the word cunt, you have to say it in an Aussie. Fucking cunts. All these cunts over there. Wow, I almost sounded Australian when I did say cunt. I think that's the best I've ever done with it. Oh, my sister hates the word moist and titties. Moist titties. Oh my God, that's going to be. You know what? That's going to be the name of my fantasy football team this year.
Moist
titties. Bloody hell, Ryan Moist is disgusting. Yeah, Royal Jura. I don't know why I'm still talking like this. I don't know how come I go from Aussie right to like.
That's our new laugh track, by the way. Just for people that
Amber going off in the back about the moist titties. So this show's gone off the rails. If you look at this picture right here, right behind me here, you can see the moist titties.
To summarize for people who relate, we jerked off Carl Urban.
Yes, we so did.
We talked about moist titties and the uses for the word fuck.
Fucking A. Welcome to Ryan's All Things Geek. And for those of you that may be watching this with your children in the room, what the fuck were you thinking? My mother-in-law hates the word MILF. That's not even a word, though. It's an How can someone hate an acronym? What MILF will? All right, so that was it. That's our rock. That's our rock and roll start to whatever the hell just happened. Like, I swear, I am looking forward. I will say I am really looking forward to The Rock's Black Adam movie because he's taking this really seriously, but he also took Hercules really, really seriously too. Did you see the Hercules movie?
I didn't.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of people did like it, but you know me. If it's a property I really like, I want you to get it right. Like who doesn't like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? Like just me. And I don't even not like Hugh Jackman. I think he's great. I just Yeah, Central Intelligence. That was on Steve's list. So all right. So before we head on to the next part of the show, where Steve gives us his lovely review of his 5-second movie review, which is coming up soon. You are going to be reviewing. What's that?
Jungle Cruise.
Yes, sir. Fantastic choice for this week, given the topic. So we will be hitting that. We do have to get one thing out of the way first, folks. If this is your first time watching this time of year, everything's opening up again. You're being able to go out places. So you're spending more money, which means you need to save some more money somewhere else. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. Switch your cable, or I should say your internet company. Freudian slip. Go check out, right over Steve's head there, DocNet. If you're looking for home internet, if you're looking for home phone, they're the place to call. Give Tony a call over at docnet.ca. Tell him RatG TV sent you. They are serving homes coast to coast here in Canada, coverage everywhere. And I'm telling you, they say, how good is it? Well, hey, we're live streaming right now while my kid's playing video games in the other room online, probably watching YouTube at the same time. So, and so there's the proof in the pudding right there. So if you're looking for that, folks, go give DocNet a look-see over at docnet.ca, connecting your home to the world. I swear someone else didn't say that before me. He wasn't bad in Get Smart either. No, but he wasn't good either. Well, neither was the movie. Like, the movie was okay. Steve Carell movie, The Rock, and what's her name that played Catwoman in Batman Begins, or the Dark Knight. Oh my God, you know who she is. She was in The Princess Diaries. Oh my God, I have no idea now. I can't believe I can't think of her name. Somebody will put it though down in there. Greg, you'll let us know what her name is, because I can't. Thank you, Greg. Anne Hathaway, exactly. I kept wanting to say Anne Heche. I'm not gonna lie, and I knew it wasn't Anne Heche.
I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah,
and Anne Margaret.
Right.
It's the confusion of the Anns. I phoned Darknet. They told me I wasn't eligible. I just plain continentalist. Listen, buddy. Darknet. Doc. Damn autocorrect. That's why I'm here for. Yeah, brother. Well, that's why we like it. And Greg, how's things going over? Greg manages, or was a manager, I think he still is, over at That's Entertainment in St. Catharines. If you're looking for a place to go find videos like DVDs and all the best movies and shit like that, go check out Greg over at That's Entertainment. What is it? Ontario Street, I think? Ontario or Lake?
No. Is it Ontario?
I think it is on Ontario Street.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. That Faster was good too. Faster was a good movie. I liked Faster, honestly. It was still a little at The Rock's PG era. Like, I think that was a PG-13 movie. Had Faster been, actually, I do think it was rated R. But that was a decent movie. I like that one. Lake Street. It is Lake Street. Okay.
Lake Street.
Yeah. Go give them a follow. Go check them out if you're looking for some good movies. And I'm telling you, Greg will tell you, if you're looking for something good that you just don't know what to watch, ask Greg. Like, he's the guy to ask. He'll ask you what some of your favorite movies are and things like that, and I'm telling you, he's going to point you into a spot that you didn't expect or know about. Not bad. We need some good new releases, but classics are still a hit. And Gord says Lake Street because Gord was there as well. There you go. So there was our cheap pop for one of our friends. So that's it. We get all that good, fun stuff out of the way, and that brings us to some not so good or fun stuff. It's that time of the day where, oh shit! I almost jumped the gun there. I almost jumped the gun. This is the fun part of the day. It is the time where we're going to review your movie, Jungle Cruise. So you did watch this. You did the Disney Premier Access.
I did the drive-in.
You did the drive. Oh, that's right. You went to the drive-in. Right on.
I got a local drive-in.
Right. Well, I'm anxious to see what your review is. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, Jungle Cruise, starring Emily Blunt and The Rock, of course. So,
well, if everybody else is ready, it's time for Steve's 5 second movie review by Steve. Yeah. Jazz hands. I'm going Vogue and it's making me disappear. All right,
as it should.
Yeah, as it should. Exactly. At least I wasn't doing Papa Don't Preach. So if you're ready, sir, for those that don't know this, I'm going to put 5 seconds on the board. And in that 5 seconds, Steve has that much time to review the movie, The Jungle Cruise. Are you ready, sir?
I am ready.
5 seconds are on the board. You may begin now.
I'm going to be blunt. There are a few rumbles in the jungle, but this crew's hit a rock early and often.
So you liked it?
Nah.
Yeah.
It has moments.
Yeah. We'll give us a little bit more about it. What you really thought about? Like, where did it hit and where did it miss for you?
So this movie was basically, to sum it up, this movie was a mashup of Pirates of the Caribbean, Tomb Raider, and Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best I could sum this movie up, and it got weird, man.
It got weird, man. Yeah, I saw it too, and I mean, I could see that. Like, the first thing that I said when I watched this movie with my son, I'm like, this movie is. It feels like it's a movie setting up a ride,
right?
As we're seeing right here, Nathan. And Nate, you got to test it. Did you see the movie, Nate? If you did, let us know. Are there? I'm assuming a lot of stuff that, like, at the beginning where he's introducing himself to the people on the boat and they're doing the actual jungle cruise. I'm assuming that happens almost word for word verbatim on the actual ride, but with whoever they have taking the place of The Rock in that. It was rough when I saw the pre-production stuff they tested us on. I panned it. Gotcha. Yeah, man. Messed up though. This is my favorite part of the show. I come for the jazz hands. You come for the jazz hands, but you stay for the dessert, the news, or the TikToker of the week. No, you stay for the news. That's always our fun part. Don't trust Steve. 5-second review. His face is upside down. Why is his face upside down? Is your face upside down?
Because I'm bald up here and have beard down.
Right. I keep forgetting that part.
So I was bald here and had hair here. That's how long it takes. Next week I'm gonna have a full head of hair again, and I'm gonna be completely shaved. It's just,
and it's gonna be freaky. It's gonna be freaky. Support poor Scarlet. Hey, we're gonna get into that in news. That's for sure. I can't remember. Is Jungle Cruise based on a Disney ride? Yeah, it is. On a brand new ride. I did. They didn't change anything. We suggested they change. It was bad. Yeah, so even Nate was saying that. So what do you give it? Yeah, you rank these movies out of 5 usually?
Yeah. For the fun moments it did have, which there were a few. Like I said, it wasn't a complete bomb. I didn't hate it, but it got a little weird for me, and it just, to me, it was a little longer than it could have been or should have been. Could have summed this movie up in maybe an hour 35, hour 40, and maybe a little more, kept me going a little more. But I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5.
All right. I mean, it's not too bad. I guess I'm kind of close to you on that too. It was weird that and I love Emily Blunt. Her character at least at the very beginning, just, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I felt like I was watching Mary Poppins, like the remake of Mary Poppins, and nothing against that either, or the continuation, I should say. But it just didn't. It just felt forced and fake, and that's not her acting that felt that. It's hard to explain. It really is. I wasn't caring for it until I saw The Rock come on, and he was just kind of really charismatic at the beginning. But then, like you said, it got weird. It got weird, and I'm probably with you 2.5, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But yeah. Kat says, "Are there ever a matching top and bottom face with Steve? Do you ever have hair on both the top and the bottom of your head?"
I have.
Yes, when he was 18.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
Here.
Oh, okay. Yes,
I actually think you look good, Steve. Not that my opinion means shit. He's asking you out. How is that autocorrected to thy? Hello to the 15th century called and took over my phone. Aye, thy be damned. Right on. Okay, so I guess, with all that said and done, why don't we actually, before we do news, let us do our TikToker of the week. Just because I like to show some love to other TikTokers out there. This one doesn't really need all that much love because he's already pretty well beloved. in the Niagara region who's got lots of followers already on TikTok as well. And that is former Hits FM DJ morning show host Chris Biggs from the Biggs and Bar Show, who came up with this fucking dandy of a TikTok video. Gen X, enjoy.
Hi, youth of today. Are you tired of entitled boomers holding positions of authority? Well, maybe it's time we upgrade to Gen X. Now, I know what you're thinking. Gen X, just slightly younger, older people. Although that's technically accurate, there have been some massive improvements. To start, unlike the older boomers, Gen X grew up with computers and cell phones, so are very tech savvy. Oh, look at you lying there bleeding. You know what? How about a classic Halo teabag? Dad, I'm on your team. Oh, what's in your eyes, son? Is that your dad's gray, old, wrinkled ball? Another advantage to having Gen X in charge is that even though we refuse to acknowledge our own mental health situation, we understand that you do. Hey, Pete. Yeah, I got the email. No, don't sweat it. Not at all. You take a couple days for your mental health. It's important. All right? All right, we'll see you when you get back. Okay. Jesus Christ. Another advantage to Gen X is unlike the boomers who get offended by everything, Gen X gets offended by nothing. Hey, son, what's the new Wi-Fi password? Dad's a big, fat, white loser. That's a good one. That's good. Nice. No caps, right? And finally, Gen X, for the most part, way less racist. Generation X. Make the switch today.
The Chris Biggs. Go give him a follow. I mean, that was fucking brilliant. that one got me good. So much truth there. Like, really, we really don't get offended by much. Well, for the most part, and like you said, for the most part, though, we're not racist. For the most part, we're all pretty cool for the most part. But yeah, I love Biggs. Go give him a follow.
Oh, I was just gonna say I hate everyone equally. It's not races I hate. It's it's personality traits that I hate.
Same. I hate assholes. I hate douchebags.
Right.
And bullies. Bullies are at the top of my list always. Boomers, motherfuckers, let us Gen Xers. Fuck these old boomers and young wannabes out of control. Whoa. Slow thy down. Biggs is awesome. Yes, he is. That was great, right? Exactly. Kurt, how's it going, brother? Good to see you. Steel Town. What's going on? I don't know. Here, let me ask a question to Kurt Jr. before we move on to our news. This is a football-related question. Sorry, folks that aren't into football. But if Big Ben retires next year, does Mike, oh my God, what's the name of the coach?
Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, does Mike Tomlin retire as well?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think Mike Tomlin plays anywhere else. I think there is a legacy in Pittsburgh is you coach there for your life. And when you retire, you retire. Like when you leave the Steelers as a head coach, you retire and go on TV or immediately to the Hall of Fame. I'd what I am. I'm 1900. You're 1900. Oh, shit. Oh, 1990. 1990, you are a zillennial, I believe they call you. Right. You are on because, well, no, you're a millennial of 1990. Fucking Gen X stops at around 79, was it?
Something like that.
79, they say, and then like 70, like 80 to like 83 are zillennials. They're supposed to be like in between Gen X and millennials. Any racism out of our mouths is just plain banter as we hate everyone. I mean, okay, so we grew up watching guys like Andrew Dice Clay and Don Rickles. I grew up loving Don Rickles and growing to hate Andrew Dice Clay because there was a big difference in the way they delivered their jokes. Like Andrew Dice Clay was straight up racist jokes where Don Rickles was your grandpa trying to make fun of everybody, no matter who the fuck you were. But he loved every single person that he was making fun of. Andrew Dice Clay hates everyone. So, and that's why I just it didn't work for me. Mason Rudolph, another one. Yeah.
I ended up seeing him probably about 7-8 years ago, I'm going to say, maybe 9. And at Massey Hall in Toronto, one of the oldest venues in Toronto, just got a 2-year remodel. So excited to have that place open up again. Anyways, I saw him and he got booed.
Good. I mean, good.
It was bad.
Do you know what it was? Do you know what it was that turned me off of Andrew Dice Clay, honestly? And it would have been around the late 80s, like I'd say between 86 and 90, was the episode of Night Court where they had that fake fucking, do you remember they had their fake Andrew Dice Clay?
Right.
Like that episode opened my eyes, and my eyes should have been open before that. Like there's a difference between what we saw with Don Rickles and what we saw with him. Even Lisa Lampanelli to a point, who was pretty racist in her acts, but she kind of loves the people she makes fun of.
Stuff. He was doing a lot less racy stuff, but he just wasn't funny, man. And it got to the point where people were like just yelling out, "Do the nursery rhymes," and he's like, "I don't do that anymore." So people booed more.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Kurt says the Steelers are fucked. Tomlin stays only if a viable successor is found. He's kind of young to flat out retire, but he could be given the option to leave Pittsburgh. But I think Cowler was pretty young when he retired, considering the coaching gig.
Like, be a long time. Yeah,
he's been gone for like Tomlin's been there 10 years, got to be. Yeah. I love everyone hippie flower cunt power. I've got another fantasy league team. Again, it's about intent. Yeah, intent is everything. Night Court, the Potty Man episode. Yeah. If I turn my laptop around right now, I literally have Night Court on in the background. I always have Night Court on in the background. Right now, it's the episode where Christine's dad shows up in court and argues with Harry and gets thrown in jail. That's what I do. Nursery rhymes, Hickory Dickory Dock. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, and those were funny when we were little kids because it was shocking to hear as a little kid, And then after a while, you realize there's no intelligence.
Yeah, we also listened to Live Crew.
Yeah, man, exactly. The low-hanging fruit, and I just don't. I make a lot of those low-hanging fruit jokes, but I don't make low-hanging fruit hate jokes, about racism. I get the low-hanging fruit jokes that are dad jokes. That's who I am, Best Night Court is the 30 Rock remake. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I don't think so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. All right. Let's move on though. We've been kind of veering off course quite a bit there. It's a good time for us to get into see what's been happening in the world of pulp culture with another edition of This Week in Geek. Big thanks to Jordan James. Go check out the show, Jordan James Show. New episodes every Tuesday drop, usually on YouTube or wherever you find your podcast. Jordan James, Discovering the Path to Success. One of our good buddies used to produce the show. We have him on here periodically doing, OK Boomer with us as well, where he shows us how old we truly are. Go check him out, though. New episodes every Tuesday. Race jokes are stupid. Best joke is what's orange and is like a parrot, a carrot. I thought he was going to say Trump.
I really was going to say Trump too.
Right? Just rewatched all of Night Court. Loved every one of them. John Astin was absolutely. Oh my god! Yeah. I cry. Like it's so good. And every time I think this is the best episode ever. There's another one I think of.
My two favorite lines that I always quote from Night Court are both from Buddy. And one is when he was handing out the wedding invitations and they were on paper plates. He's like, "Why paper plates?" He's like, "They're $100 for $1 and they fly."
Yeah.
And the other one was he's like, "Yeah, it wasn't that the year I spent in a mental institution." He's like trying to figure out ways to get Gilligan off that island. And Mac's like, "What? Like build a raft?" He's like, 116.
My favorite buddy line is the running gag. But I'm feeling much better now. Like every time. So ridiculous. Luke says, Jordan is great for your mental health. Great young fella, for sure, man. Tomlin is 49, been a head coach for 15 years. Yeah. 50. So if he retires after next season at 51, great age to go into work for NFL.com or NFL Network or go work for CBS or Fox. Because other people will be retiring at that point, and you're going to want to have the coach on there because that guy is like the truth. Love me, the Jordan James Show. It's great. 20 out of 10. Well, you better be giving us a 30 out of fucking 10. His comedic timing with just a glance, a wink, perfect. John Aston, yeah, Gomez. How much did Pirates pay for an earring? Shut up. Buccaneer. Cal retired about the same age. Brent Spiner was awesome on Night Court. Oh yeah, man, loved him and his family. Lurleen. All right, let us get to the news though as we get through all those comments. You start us off every week with some sad news.
Yeah, I don't know if you had added this one, but the inventor Ron Popeil.
No, I didn't.
This guy was the infomercial king. He was an American inventor. He gave us the very first karaoke machine. He gave us Popeil's Pocket Fisherman, which was super famous. The smokeless ashtray, the Vegematic, and hair in a can. He had a net worth of over $200 million, and he died at the age of 86.
My grandmother had that smokeless ashtray. It didn't work.
No.
Those didn't work. They were the worst.
Moving on, though, Jackie Mason, former rabbi and comedian, died at the age of 93. This guy, he was a regular on talk shows, variety shows. He's known to us from, Krusty. He's known as the voice of Krusty's dad on The Simpsons, of course, Caddyshack 2, and The Jerk, starring Steve Martin. And a funny guy. I love him in Caddyshack. He was a really funny guy. I watched some of his stand-up stuff and talk show stuff earlier this week, and just one of those.
You said you don't remember him from being on the Pink Panther show.
No,
like you don't remember the aardvark that was on there.
No.
All right, give me a second. I'm going to pop it up right here real quick so you can see. I don't know for a fact that it's actually Jackie Mason or if it's someone
doing Jackie Mason.
Yeah. I think that's actually what it is as I'm reading it here. Oh, you know who it is? It's John Biner from Bizarre impersonating Jackie Mason.
Nice.
So, take a quick look at this because, I mean, that's another show that I love that would not survive today, and that's Bizarre.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Okay. See, as soon as I see it, I remember it now.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the one I was talking about. But yeah,
Gotcha.
Jackie Mason was a legend. Like you said, Caddyshack, just great on every talk show. Johnny Carson. I mean, fuck, even before our time, like Jack Parr and shit like that. So. Yeah. Just to add to the news, we had our first death from COVID today in Grenese since the first wave of COVID. I don't know if anyone watching knows them, but rest in peace. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't talk about that usually on here because we talk about pop culture stuff, but we see the numbers rising around the world, and we see what people do and don't do. And I mean, it's been 2 years. So I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, and Steve's not going to tell anybody what to do. you're gonna choose to do what you're gonna do as you've been doing. People haven't been. People have either listened or they haven't listened to the medical um, suggestions from the CDC and things like that. So I don't know. Steve and I have been social distancing though since it all started. So except for the times we get together to get high.
You smoking our lights.
Yeah. Greg says Ant in the Aardvark. And no worries. We're completely down with paying respect. Yeah, because I mean, the shit's real. That's plain and simple. Sadly, that's not where the deaths ended this week.
No, the Grim Reaper working overtime this week. Very young death to report this week for metal fans. I was not a huge fan. I had seen them live once at Ozfest back in 2000, and I saw him, Joey Jordison, perform with Ministry in New York City as well as the drummer at the age of 46, passing away in his sleep. So
really,
yeah,
that's really young too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't really know the band very well or the drummer. I'm aware of them, but I couldn't
yeah. So anybody who knows Slipknot knows them obviously, but like I said, I saw him perform with Ministry, and basically Al Jorgensen is the man behind Ministry. He basically just hires musicians to tour with him every tour because it is just him, and to be picked by Al Jorgensen to tour with him, that's to be on the all-star of metal bands. So,
was that at Cops Coliseum?
I've seen Ministry like 6 times. The show I saw him perform drums for Ministry, though, was actually in New York City.
Okay. I feel like Ministry played Cops Coliseum with Rob Zombie, maybe? And Alice Cooper?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I saw... Yeah, I don't know. I could be off. I feel like I saw that concert, though. And then that doesn't end with the musician deaths. This was a big one for us in our generation.
Yeah, sticking with music, legend, absolute legend in the game, blues guitarist and rock guitarist, Dusty Hill passed away at the age of 72, also in his sleep. It was at his request that the band continue upon his death. Longtime guitar tech Elwood Francis, guitar tech of 30 years with the band, actually played a show with ZZ Top Friday night.
No way. Does he have the beard?
What's that?
He have a beard?
He actually
have a beard?
He actually had been growing the beard because he had to fill in on a few shows on the tour the last couple months because of his health.
Right.
So yeah, in Tuscaloosa on Friday night, ZZ Top took the stage. Of course, the Reverend Billy Gibbons paying tribute to their fallen comrade, and the drummer Frank Beard, the guy without the beard.
Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. Rest in power. Never mind. That guy is a absolute legend. Legendary band, man. Like for our era, most definitely. Dusty Hill, rip. Wasn't he in the series Bones as Angela's father? I could not tell you. I've never watched Bones. But maybe. Yes. Maybe no. So that's going to do it for our deaths this week. But we may have seen the death of what we thought was perhaps a beautiful relationship. And that is that between Marvel Studios and Disney. And that is after the release of Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson coming out and suing Disney for the early release of the Black Widow movie. Now, I talked about this originally when it first broke, and my initial reaction, much like a lot of other people, which I think is kind of understandable, is at first glance, is this a millionaire really complaining about not getting extra millions? I mean, it is hard to feel sorry or empathize for her. But then you think about it. One, Disney fucking ignored a contract that was signed between Scarlett Johansson and Marvel years before it took over. yeah, too fucking bad. Now I realized COVID happened, and this, like, we had to keep pushing this back. But I mean, I don't know. As a fan, yeah, we wanted to see it, so we were guilty of saying bring the shit out. But she has a point, you know. If she wasn't a multi-millionaire, if she was just some actor, if she was Robin Williams in Aladdin, she would have made none of that residual money. So she would have missed out on millions. And she did. We looked at it, and it was something like $50 million she ended up missing out on, which I get it. For her is not a big deal. What's another $50 million to someone who was making $20 million a movie? It is principle, and it is precedent, I think, is what we're trying to avoid here.
And she's not the only one.
Yeah, she's not.
We've heard that Emma Stone is also considering a lawsuit against Disney for the release of Cruella.
Yeah, man. Which it's all starting to pile on. She's doing that. Who else do we see? Gerard Butler's suing one of his distribution companies for them coming out early now too. Like, I mean, is it a good thing that she did this? Is this her being petty? I mean, it's so hard to say. It is so hard to say because on face value, it looks like, yeah, it's some millionaire complaining about chump change to them. Yeah. But when you look at it, it really does. It means something in the grand scheme of things. It's a motherfucking contract. If the roles were reversed, Disney would have sued her. Yeah, exactly. Right. Screw Disney. Support Scarlett. A job contract is law. Fuck Disney. Pay the lady. Yeah, you're right. Luke is right. It's contract. It's the law. Personally, I'd rather have $50 million than not have $50 million if it was supposed to be available to me. Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we're saying. All I was saying, at face value, though, it does look a little tough. Guy on the right, you look like that Scottish guy. Wee Scottish guy. Which wee Scottish guy? Oh, he looks like Sheamus. Nah. Well, his muscles are bigger than Sheamus's. He's missing the mohawk, though. Honor the contract, no problems. Yeah, and that's the way it should be. How can it be petty? She worked for the money. No, I totally get that. I'm saying, given the circumstance of it being COVID for 2 years and a lot of people not wanting to go to the theater, you look at it and you're like, oh, well, why would she care about that? She still made money off of it. It made money in the theaters like the first day, but it also the record lowest drop off from the first week of any Marvel movie. But that's just kind of how it goes. Put it this way, you don't know she's hoarding her money. That $50 million could be donated. No, exactly. And I'm not saying anything about her being wrong in this instant. I'm saying when it first happened, given that it was COVID happening and everything like that, you'd be like, oh, well, I can understand them releasing it same day, both, right? Because people are going to be afraid to go to. Some people aren't going to the theater still now that it's open, right? Because they're still afraid. But, it's the way it goes. Having pictures of The Rock doesn't make you look like him. Stop it, bro. Okay. Weird flex, loser. I'm trying to make your post viral. Thanks. 11 or 3. I don't know. I don't even know. That we're getting all these comments from everybody. Yorkie UK. How much you reckon The Rock pack in 7 or 10? 11 or 3. I don't even know what any of that means. But those are all coming in from Twitch. We never get Twitch stuff.
I'm going to say 4.
Yeah. There are 4 lights. That's for the Star Trek fans. I'm not even posting any of that shit. It may seem like it could be chump change to her, but who knows what she'd do with the money. It might be hookers and blower. It could be feed the homeless. Yeah, exactly. And again, that's not my point at all. I totally get that, especially for contracts. I think she's in the right for suing them. I really do. I'm saying initial reaction when you heard it that she was suing Disney over being released early on Disney Plus and it made a profit, you're like, oh, well, that seems a little petty. And then when you do deeper digging, like I did, you're like, oh, okay, she's right. I know. I'm getting trolled by some motherfuckers. I don't give two shits about them. Really, I don't. Trolls just means we're getting bigger, honestly. So come on by, keep coming by. Yes, please stop making the algorithm send more people to our page and our video. Oh, please.
You're talking to the guys that when we were on the radio and we got hate mail from New Zealand, we're happy.
Dude,
that
we
means
were
we
so
have people
happy.
In New Zealand.
And now New Zealand loves us, even when I do my Australian accent and sound like I'm doing a bad Kiwi accent. Because that is definitely what happens every time. Absolutely. On the surface, it does sound like a millionaire problems, but you're right. It's still a problem. Yeah. In the long run, that's the way she goes. You're getting bigger. We love you in a purely platonic way. You're lying. I see you look at my ass every time I bend over. Love you too, buddy.
He's talking to me.
Well, yeah, talking to everybody. But yeah, so that's it with the Disney story. What do you think, Steve? I kind of hogged that.
Yeah, like I said, we talked about this a bit earlier before the show, and I attributed it to, a lot of actors are asking for residuals now because these movies are such monsters. And I have no problem with that. And it's like, NHL players or NFL players or NBA players saying, I want that much more because this team is worth this much now. You're making this much money. So if the players don't get it, who are the actual people putting the people in the stand and the people watching on TV for these huge TV contracts, billionaire owners are just going to be making that much more. But exactly. The problem in sports is every time this process goes, we have another collective bargaining agreement. These players who should be paid what they're worth are affecting ticket prices.
What's Aaron Rodgers? What has he just done to that whole fucking landscape now?
Right?
Like really, because the next collective bargaining agreement is going to look a hell of a lot different now after what Aaron Rodgers just did to the Green Bay Packers. And Packers fans are happy he's back. I don't know if I would be, because a guy that doesn't want to be there, like he's either going to play lights out just so he can go play wherever he can for the most money ever, or he's not going to give a shit.
I found the cookie thief.
I want a cookie. Are they vegan? No, they're not, are they? All right. Well, you know what? So,
yeah, unfortunately, these agreements, they only hurt the fans. They prices continue to rise. And the average family of 3 or 4 or 5 cannot even afford to go to a pro sports game.
And that's going to happen with the theaters too. It's already that way. It's already that way with the theaters.
I don't know about the last time we took all 3 kids to the theater, but it was a while back, and it cost me $100.
And that's why when Black Widow came out and people were bitching, or not even Black Widow, I forget, Mulan was the first one that came out, and people were bitching about paying $30. And I'm like, do you know how much money you're saving? Especially if you're in a family.
Yeah, man.
You can watch this movie as many times as you want for a month in the comfort of your own home. Don't have to buy any concessions or anything like that. And those concessions at the theater, I realize they got to make their money back, and that's where they make it back. But holy wow, man! Like it's ridiculous.
That's why 6-7 months a year I support our local drive-in, because I find myself, and I'm not just pushing my local drive-in because I love them and I really want them to do well. But every time I go there and I go and I pay for food and I get a fry and I get a burger and I get a pretzel and I get candy and I get a drink and I hand her money and she's giving me back the change and I'm like, did you miss something? Like,
I know, because they're so cheap.
That's way too cheap.
And you get 2 movies for the price of one. Every minimum 2 movies. If you're going on a holiday, you're getting usually 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah.
Right? Like you do the Dust Till Dawn, which is, I've never made it through one of those ever.
I've done one, and it was only like a couple of years ago we finally did an actual Dust Till Dawn.
But did you stay awake through all of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Hats
off to you, buddy. I mean, I would have smoked way too much weed to stay up that. Luke is getting crazy. I'm on bottle number 2 of whiskey. Love you guys. Keep going. I want to do 2 bottles. My body hasn't handled that much yet. Careful of the liver, buddy. That's all we're going to say. I'm joking. It's the 3rd bottle. I'm going to the theater to watch Black Widow tonight. Well, I hope you enjoy, brother. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't know what you thought of Black Widow. Have you seen Black Widow at all yet, Steve, or no?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Yeah, and I don't think the things that bother some people in it will bother you because you don't know the comic backstory. So
Like you said, that's that's something that's a disadvantage for you when they change something or they tweak something or a role is changed, and so those things usually benefit the people who don't know what's going on. Right?
Like, I mean, that's where the term "ignorance is bliss" comes in really handy. Like, honestly, the less you know about a character going into a movie like that, the better the movie will be for you. Haven't done anything in over a year. I just needed the escape. Well, yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. I wonder how packed the theaters have been at all. John Aston's on TV right now as Buddy, his first appearance.
Nice.
It's okay, I'm joking, only on the first. For now. All right, let's move on, though, from Black Widow. We had some almost other bleak news.
We had a scare. We now know that it was a minor heart attack that Bob Odenkirk had suffered on set for Better Call Saul. He has thanked everyone for their outpouring of support and well wishes. They said he's going to be fine and hopes to return to work soon.
Well, we all hope he returns to work soon. Do you think his movie had anything to do with that? I mean, that was a high intensity movie. I forget what it was called. Mr. Nobody. Or just Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, and he filmed a lot of the fight scenes and stuff himself.
Yeah, because I listened to the podcast Smart List with Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes, and he was on and talking about it. He did all his own stunts.
Yeah, and he said he got winded and shit too a lot on it, right? I'm watching Nobody tomorrow night. Rented the Blu-ray for Bob Odenkirk. It's a good movie. I really liked it. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So he's out of the hospital now?
He's out of the hospital now, yeah, and doing good.
Good to hear. I like Odenkirk. Good guy.
Yeah.
So speaking of guys that are out, this is for the wrestling fans out there, me being one of them. One of the most creative minds and characters we've seen in a long time when it comes to actual wrestlers, Bray Wyatt, son of Mike Rotundo, IRS.
Oh, no way.
If you remember, one of his two sons got his release from the WWE today. He came up with a character which was a knockoff almost of Robert De Niro's character in Cape Fear, but he kind of had some almost not mystical powers, but it seemed like that voodoo type of thing. And then most recently came back with this Fiend character, but he went back and forth from these two personas, which was a takeoff of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And then when he was the Fiend, he was basically Jason from the Friday the 13th movies. It was creepy. But I mean, and it was good acting. It was good sells on there. And people loved him. He was over with the fans. And Vince, I don't know if Vince just didn't like him or what. Because every time he went over, he won a title, and then they took it off of him right away. But he was one of those characters that doesn't need a title, like Roddy Piper. Piper was never a heavyweight title, and he was arguably the greatest heel of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, he held the Intercontinental, I think maybe even a tag team.
Yeah, and that's it. And he's had heavyweight titles elsewhere, but never the WWF or the WWE. So, but Bray Wyatt got released. He hadn't been on air for a couple months at least, and his character, the Fiend, they basically gave to Alexa Bliss, another character, and because she came on as his protege, and then she betrayed him and burned him alive, I think, or no, someone else burned him alive. It's wrestling, folks. It's wrestling. But she basically has all his powers and does all the same stuff he was doing, has his kind of little fun house. But now he's gone, and he has a 30-day non-compete. I'm going to assume he's going to go to AEW. And if he does, people are like, oh, I want him to head up the Dark Order, which is kind of like their mystical bad guy group, which is headed up by Hangman Adam Page right now, who's the cowboy, drinks. He's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. What I would rather see is see Bray Wyatt go there and take down that group single-handedly and then set himself up with a program for Adam Page. And then Adam Page could maybe have the heavyweight title at that point because he's kind of going against Kenny Omega. You give him the title, then you got Bray Wyatt comes in. They do this year-long thing. Oh, my God. It writes itself, folks. I'm just saying. Bray, let him in. He's got Iris clipboard. Yeah. It is kind of funny that is IRS's kid, though. Erwin R. Shyster from the 80s.
Remember him.
$1 Million Man era. All right. So, yeah, that's my story of the demonic fiend himself. What do you got?
Yeah, staying with demonic themes, we have a new Exorcist Trilogy coming out. This is going to be a trilogy of movies from Peacock, as you can see there. Ellen Burstyn.
On my cock. Wait. Sorry.
Ellen Burstyn is going to reprise her role as Regan's mom, Chris McNeil. Linda Blair says she hasn't been contacted yet, but this is set to be released October 13th, which is a Friday, 2023.
Okay, but how can you have Reagan's mom in it and not have Reagan in it? I mean, she's got they'd have to have it in. Let me just tell you how often I'm going to watch the show. I don't care if I ever get to the point where I'm full on watching horror movies again. I will never, ever, 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 ever watch The Exorcist again or anything remotely related to that franchise. I am sorry. I will never get the thought of "fuck me, Jesus" out of my head ever for as long as I live. I was 5 years old when I saw that scene, and I will never ever forget that. Like that is ingrained in my brain more than her puking on the priest, more than the spider walk, which happened later in the remastered. Like more than anything in the movie, I remember "fuck me, Jesus," and that is burned into
my quote, as you heard, was "Your mother sucks cocks in hell." That's my favorite.
Which came right after that, or right before. Like it's in the same sequence. Yeah, no. Exorcist series. Hopefully, it follows the series or at least the original movie. Blumhouse, just because I haven't mentioned it yet. Yeah, Blumhouse would be good to do it, but yeah, you do mention Blumhouse every week, just like you mentioned Clanny, so it's all cool. Daryl, LOL, laughing at my fear of it. Well, I can't help it, man. The Exorcist is just too much. It's that scene. It's just wrong. It's just so wrong, and I'm not religious. We got some other news. Talking about series. Writer on the Loki series, Michael Waldron, says that he may not be doing season 2, which I mean, I like Loki. I thought it was good. Did you watch it yet or no?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
Yeah, I dug it. I thought it was good, but I thought it was just that. I thought it was and I like what it's setting up for the MCU. Love that. I love a lot of the ideas behind it, but a lot of it was a little slow moving, I thought.
Yeah.
The ending was great, though.
Yeah. I'm
shout out to comic book fans. So
I'm finishing up The Sopranos right now. We got we've been watching Peaky Blinders, and Animal Kingdom just started up again. So
I hear so many good things about Animal Kingdom. I got to check that out.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's up my wheelhouse. And Daryl says it happens. We all have one. Well, what's yours, Daryl? What's your movie that scares you? And is that true, Steve? Do you have one that you just like stuck with you in your brain that you'll never watch again?
Oh yeah, I know.
Was it the Human Centipede?
I mean, I don't know to the point that I'll never watch it again, but I definitely have not seen it in years. And there's a funny story that goes along. So I have relatives in Goderich. I don't know if anybody knows where Goderich, Ontario is. It's up right on Lake Huron, northern part of Ontario. And so I was watching this with my older cousins. We watched Excalibur. If you remember Excalibur, the old movie there. And then we watched Children of the Corn. And the next day, I was driving from Goderich to Kitchener to visit my other aunt. And then I was going to take the Greyhound home. And I had to go to the washroom. And after watching Children of the Corn, like, you know, he's like, all right. He's like, I'll just pull over. He pulls over in a cornfield. And I'm like, no, I'll hold it, man.
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah, I should have had you on when I interviewed Courtney Gaines. You could have told him that story.
Yeah.
Children of the Corn, yeah. That's too funny. You felt like you were being preyed upon, did you?
Oh yeah, and I can't remember what else there was. There was I remember Poltergeist I watched next door at my friend's house, and there's the part with the tree comes in and tries to eat the kid, and we had this huge tree in between our houses, and then a long row of bushes, and then an alleyway, and then my house. And I'm thinking, I come out of Sammy's house, and I was like, God damn it, I'm not going near that fucking tree. And I ran across the driveway, and I dove over the bushes, freaking tucked and rolled, freaking into my house.
Good times. I remember that. I literally remember. Well, I remember that story, and I know the tree you're talking about. House the '80s Horror. I don't know that one. Said he watched it too young. Children of the Corn is still my no movie. Everybody's got a no movie. I will never watch it again. So here's the thing. Poltergeist never bothered me. Like, even back then when we watched it, it didn't scare me. The movie It didn't scare me as well. Children of the Corn, yeah, that one fucked me up. Luke says, which one, Kat? The original or the new one? Yeah, I'm with Luke on that one. Like, the new one I haven't watched, and I think the new one's probably way scarier than the original. Because I didn't think the original... let's be real, folks. The original was a fucking movie of the week. Like, it was a series on TV. Like, so it wasn't like they could go all that scary with it. And it had Parker Lewis Can't Lose in it, right? Wasn't that guy in it? Like, yeah.
I think so.
Luke Tuff, the original. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The original just didn't... It's weird that some of the scary movies that don't scare me, like ghost movies, for some reason, The Frighteners. Yeah, people were like, "Oh, The Frighteners are so scary," and I'm like, The Frighteners was a comedy.
Yeah.
Right, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
I love the original movie. The new one is fucked up. Yeah, that's what I hear. I was a kid and I don't like clowns. Original had John Ritter and Harry Anderson. Right. And John Boy from the Waltons.
Oh.
Was in the original It. All right. Sorry. We were getting off topic there. And that's not it for, continuations and, old being new again.
Yeah, this one's going to be an origin story. The Predator is coming back. Disney is behind this one. And we know that it's 3/4 of the way done. It's going to be an origin story about the Predator's first visit to Earth. 2 days ago, a story came out that said that it was confirmed that the title was going to be Skull. But now, today I saw they're saying that that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, I think that might have just been a working title.
Yeah.
Like, until they come up with something concrete, maybe even after they're done making the movie. Kurt says, Hellraiser, to this day, I don't mess with puzzle boxes. We met Doug Brett. Steve interviewed Pinhead himself.
Yeah, I have an autographed one.
Tim Curry was awesome as Pennywise. He really was. Skarsgård looks scary as fuck as Pennywise, though. Please be good. Yeah, exactly. I think we all hope it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Is House the one with Richard Mole as the ghost? From, like, what is with the Night Court fucking references today? I love it. Yes, Predator. Stay original to the comics, please. I haven't read the comics. I'm assuming you're talking about the Dark Horse Predator and Alien comics, though, and I hear a lot of good things about those. It's hard to find Dark Horse, though, a lot of times, like some of their stuff, but that stuff I think was always easy to find. I don't know. The poster is a severed hand pressing the doorbell. Oh, what was that? I remember that. What was that, Steve?
House.
Yeah, that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah.
Everything comes back to Night Court. Thank God it does, though.
Okay.
Okay. So we have some new news coming from from the MCU. That's not a handful to say, and that is this: Marvel Studios is casting this role, this unspoken role. We don't know what it is for the Marvels. Jexa, which was just something I had to copy and paste. Ignore the Jexa. Intelligent scientist with a dry sense of humor and no nonsense mentality. Actor must be comfortable with full facial prosthetics. So, what in the world does that mean? Who are we looking at here? Like, I mean, the possibilities are kind of endless in that world. I'm wondering if we're going to see another Captain Marvel. Like in the original Captain Marvel, her predecessor was a woman, but in the comics, it's a man. I wonder if they'll have the Kree, like another version that is the male version. I'm not saying I need that or even want it. I'm just wondering if that's it. I have no idea. Let us know who you might think it is. I'm excited for this one though because we're gonna have Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. We're gonna have Camilla Khan's Miss Marvel, which we saw the release. Oh, and I forgot to put that up there. But Disney Plus did put up all their new movies when they're going to be coming out, and their Disney Plus series. And Ms. Marvel is going to be out before the Hawkeye series, so I think it's coming out September-ish. I can't remember offhand. If you're on Ryan's All Things Geek page, go scroll. You'll find it. You'll find it for real. But I'm excited for that one. After Camilla Khan will be in that though. Brie Larson will be in that one, and and then we'll also have Quasar Photon, which is from WandaVision. Maria Rambeau will be in this one as well. So I'm excited for it, honestly. I'm liking the. I'm not one of those people that has a problem with girl power movies. What's that?
I really know absolutely nothing about this whole universe here, so this is all new to me.
Oh yeah, and for me, I know a lot of people will have issues because they're going to be like about anti-girl power or having problem with all these woke movies, but you don't have to watch those movies. Don't complain about movies you know you're not going to like anyways. Like don't watch them. They're not for you. Those like don't be saying, "Oh, I read Captain Marvel comic books and they." No, you don't, because if you read Captain Marvel comic books, you would know that this is who Captain Marvel is. She's a staunch feminist. She's an Air Force pilot. She's in your face. If you don't like that aspect of Brie Larson's portrayal of that character, you weren't paying attention in the first place. Go read Civil War Part 2. Like, I mean, and if you don't like it, just don't watch it. It's like I said, it's not for you. And that's okay. There's other shit for you to watch. I'm sure Zack Snyder will make another fucking movie that you will enjoy. Go watch that. Like, you do you. You do you, boo. You do you. Yes, Richard Mole was in House. Didn't House 2 have Norman Cliff from Cheers? Shut the fucking front door. What are these movies? Are these all horror movies that were just based off of 80s sitcoms?
They were 80s horror movies, so they weren't really scary. Yeah.
Well, then I'd love them. Predator could be so amazing. They did so well with Alien Covenant. Let's bring this world together in the right way. I mean, maybe, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I was never a huge Aliens fan, but I've always loved the Predator movies, even the one people bag on too. Loved it. But I actually liked the one Alien versus Predator movie, the one where it took place in the Mayan. It was like an underground Mayan temple or something like that, and they had come and laid eggs there to hatch so that the Predators could come and hunt the aliens on Earth. I guess was the plot, and it was pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen a Predator movie since Danny Glover and Predator 2.
The one with Cody and what's his name from that 70s show was pretty good, where they're on their planet.
Oh, I don't know. Topher Grace?
Foreman from that 70s show.
Topher Grace.
Yeah, Topher Grace. That's it. Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah, Predators.
That one was excellent, says Daryl.
Yeah, Predators. That was good.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen them since then. No, we talked about Marvels and kind of being positive girl power type movie. You want to talk like people talk about this being a new woke thing. It is not, because this next story is about one of the pioneers who was pro woman, pro black, all that shit back in the 70s.
Yeah, this girl was definitely the forefront of girl power in the 70s. Pam Grier is going to be back in a prequel coming from Paramount, Pet Cemetery. This is also going to star Forrest Goodluck, who was co-starred with Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who that is. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this casting?
I'm excited that it's a prequel, and I really, really hope this is good.
Right.
That seems to be the saying nowadays with everything that's new again.
Another horror movie that didn't bother me. I watched the Pet Cemetery movies and never bugged me. It makes no sense, my horror fear, honestly. I think it's just torture porn I don't like. But I do like Pam Grier.
Right? You like them to be separate.
Mm-hmm. Everyone hated the new one, but I like Thomas Jane was great in it. Oh, the new Predator movie.
Oh yeah, I liked it. It wasn't, to me. It wasn't a true. I don't know. It didn't have that Predator movie feel, but I still liked it as just a fun popcorn movie.
Mm-hmm. Luke Duff says Thy was Predators. Actually wanted Alien vs. Predator 1 and 2, or watched them with my son yesterday, explained that the aliens were engineered by the Predators and also engineer.
Right.
Should have redone Cujo. I think they were talking about that, weren't they?
Yeah, they were talking about that a while back.
Reported
that is one that should get remade. But
pure Stephen King. Let Stephen King, let him do it. Like, let him be right in on all of it. Time, same outcome. Yeah. Instead of another Pet Cemetery. Well, the Pet Cemetery is going to be a series. And I do, it's even like with and the reason why I think about this so much lately, and why I said earlier about there being enough room for everybody to get what they like in.
Right.
Because I'm really hard on Zack Snyder, and not so much the Zack Snyder fans, like some of their more vocal fans, I'm very vocal about.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. Because you guys hate everything but Zack Snyder, and like really, and then you tell everybody else that oh, you're blaming, you're fan blaming. No, we're not fan blaming. A lot of times it's just you're a douchebag, and that's just the way it is. That's not all Zack Snyder fans, so please don't take it that way. Because I get those fans that'll come at me and be like, "Oh, I'm not like that." I'm not talking about you. If you think I'm talking about you, then you have to look at yourself. But there's enough room out there for Zack Snyder fans to have their Zack Snyder universe. It's not what I know and what comic book fans know as, the kind of the way those guys are. But a lot of people who didn't like normal Superman, they don't like how soft he is. They love Zack Snyder's representation because it's more in your face and more that the shit they want to see from Superman is what Zack Snyder gave them. So, and I get that. So cool. You have your injustice version of Superman. But yeah, when it comes to all this stuff, yeah, there's enough room for that. If people want another fucking Pet Cemetery TV series, let them have it. It's on Amazon Prime. You know how many shows are on Amazon Prime that people don't know are on there, or never heard of? Like, yeah, there's enough room for everyone. That's all I say. Like, fuck, we'll see what happens. In the original with the sliced ankle yikes, yeah, the sliced tendon that Gage did.
Yeah,
I mean, didn't bother me. Pet Cemetery, this TV series could be dark. It could be. It's Amazon. We don't know, so we'll see. They're spending $1 billion on fucking their Lord of the Rings TV series. So
yeah, they're all in.
Yeah, man, they are all in for sure. Speaking of all in. Everybody's all in for Mandalorian season 3. We saw photos of the leaked photo of Luke and Grogu training over what appeared to be Grogu's new lightsaber. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot to see this season. Mando's back. We're gonna see some Ahsoka Tano. We're gonna see Bo-Katan. We're gonna see some Boba Fett. I don't think we'll see too much of him because I think he's in his own series, the Book of Fett.
Right.
But they were talking. We're gonna see a lot of Luke Skywalker. Now, you and I talked about this. It was cool for that one episode.
Right.
Give me Sebastian Stan as Luke for the rest. Just give me Sebastian Stan as Luke. I'm sorry. I love Mark Hamill, but just get Sebastian Stan looks enough like him, especially at that age after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I can't do CGI for a season.
Right. We talked about this. I had heard a story earlier in the week that some guy had just took it upon himself to redo the deep fake on that and fix it and made it look a lot better. And Disney actually hired him. So
right, which is awesome. Like, I mean, wicked for that guy.
Yeah,
I think we'll see more of that. Because YouTube and social media is the ultimate fucking application or job resume lately.
Yeah.
The Mando diet, yes. I get it, not wanting him as CGI for the entire season. Yeah, man, I just couldn't do it. I hope they use Luke sparingly. Yeah, I hope they do too, but I really do hope. I want to see what happened between Return of the Jedi leading up to Force Awakens. And for all of you that keep saying that they're going to get rid of the sequels, you're the same people that say that Trump is really the president and that he was going to be president like a month ago.
You're on flat Earth.
On flat Earth.
No, it's Turtle Earth.
I'm not saying all of you are that, but yeah, you are. It's not going to happen. It's just get that out of your head. It's not going to happen. But I do want to see more. I hope they use them sparingly, but I do want to see a Luke Skywalker spinoff at some point. He's like Vader, just shows up once in a while to boss out. Yeah, man. I mean,
yeah, I just watched Rogue One.
Rogue One was so great. So great. That scene with him at the end, Darth Vader at the end. But the Luke scene, just as fucking badass. That hallway scene. The people who think that are rebel scum. Fair. Don't mind me as I eat crackers here. Smoke too many joints. But yeah, so that's it with Mando. But we got some trailer action coming our way. And what was the first trailer that you wanted to talk about?
We can. Do you want to save the big one for last?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Day of the Dead that's coming to Sci-Fi. Of course, a bunch of these trailers got put out last week during Comic-Con. That's what we're talking about here. This one is going to be a TV show on Sci-Fi based off the George Romero series. This is the third movie that came out in the Day of the Dead series. This is the 1985 one. It's going to premiere later this year, October, they're saying. And they said they're going a different direction than the story from the original.
Really?
So is it Day of the Dead then?
Afternoon?
Afternoon? Pre-evening of the dead?
Yeah, pre-evening of the dead. Haven't you ever seen anyone fall off the edge of the earth, though? Sounds dangerous. Right. I've seen people fall off the edge, not just the edge of the earth. Rogue One is so good. I think I'll mention it every week like Blumhouse. Oh, I already do. Yes, you do. But so do we. Even if you don't, we usually do at some point. Now, piggybacking off of that, I know you were a big fan of the movie, what was it, Army of Thieves?
Army of the Dead.
Right. Well, my Freudian slip is because they did release the trailer for the prequel of Army of Dead, which is called Army of Thieves. Now, what did you think of Army of the Dead? Like, you gave it a pretty good rating.
Yeah, I liked it. I just thought it was a fun zombie movie. The zombies were a little different. They gave them a little intelligence in this one, which kind of
and a sex drive.
Yeah, see, so that's been done to an extent. Like I spoke about George Romero, the godfather of zombies, who created Night of the Living Dead. And then, of course, there was Dawn of the Dead, which got remade in the 2000s or 99. then Day of the Dead, and then there was a big lapse, and then there was movies in the 90s called like the one with oh God, I can't think of his name. He was in the Spawn movies, played the villain.
Oh, Martin Sheen?
No, the clown.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper, Land of the Dead, and then there was Diary of the Dead, and of course we know that his wife is making sure that the last of the Dead movie is being made. So in Land of the Dead, that's when the zombies started to kind of get smart, and that was the first time that had been done. And there was actually one zombie that had continued on from what you saw him in one movie, and then you saw him roaming again in another movie, and he was getting smarter. So that this Army of the Dead was kind of a play off that. They're like high intelligent now. They have a sex drive, as you mentioned. Yes. So I liked it. I thought it was a good, fun, zombie movie. I'm okay with zombies being different. I even liked World War Z. So
well, it's about time that they get a little different, and I liked World War Z as well. I like the comic book. And it's pretty far off from the comic book. Like that's supposed to be just one of the chapters of it, and they still take a lot of liberties. But I didn't mind it at all. I like Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt's a really good actor, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm done with that.
This is
what's the Army of Thieves coming out?
6 years prior. The Army of Thieves is 6 years prior to Army of the Dead.
Right. Yeah, and it's going to be a straight up heist movie. No zombies or anything. So, as far as we know,
maybe a couple.
Yeah, or we'll get like a glimpse into the zombie apocalypse coming. But yeah, so speaking of zombies, that wasn't the only trailer.
No.
This is on you. This is all you, buddy.
Okay.
The wheelhouse, not mine.
The Ghostbusters trailer was released.
That's not zombies.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Sorry?
That's not zombies.
That's not zombies, no.
This is zombies.
Oh, this one. Oh, sorry. I have
another zombie trailer you were talking about.
Yeah, Walking Dead season 11. I have them in the wrong order. That's my bad. Yeah, definitely excited for this one. It's going to be an extended season, so hopefully we get a lot of answers. They already revealed that Daryl and Carol are getting their own spin-off, which I didn't like because now we know they're going to die.
But do you know that? Well, I guess, right? Because there's never a point. Like, is there a time jump anywhere in the show where they can fit in Carol and Daryl adventure?
Yeah, you know what? You're right. There is. There's a few. There's a couple of big ones at least.
Because did they say that it's only so many seasons they're doing with the Carol and Daryl show?
If they did, I don't know, but they may have.
Yeah, because that might be a way around it where they could still kill them off in the Walking Dead series.
Yeah.
And then, it's, the time lost episodes. Is there anything that you're really hoping they answer this season?
Well, we did see like the guards from the Commonwealth, which is going to be which was the last storyline in the comic book or the graphic novel, if you will. So yeah, I'm excited about that. It's going to be the ending's not going to be anywhere near the way it ended in the comic book because we simply don't have the characters to end the way it did in the comic book anymore on the TV show. Unless
Rick comes back.
We know that there's going to be the Rick trilogy of movies that are supposed to be coming out, but do we get Rick back in some capacity in this final season? I hope so, but...
And in the movies, isn't what's her name supposed to meet up? Michonne's supposed to meet up with him there at some point in one of the movies.
Yeah, but again, like I said, we don't have Carl, so he was a key moment of the end of the comic series. So
yeah, but did they have the daughter in the comic books too? That he was taking? Did he have a little sister or no? So she can take. She basically takes over as Carl, anyways, in the TV show, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Rick Grimes coming back or what? They are making the movies.
You just spoiled it.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. We all had that same thought at the same time. Judith died in the comics. Carl was alive. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're going to switch them up.
Judith and Lori.
Yeah, like they did with also Abraham and the Doctor. They switched out their deaths, right? Well,
yeah.
She took his death. Yeah, Judy was there. Judy.
Judah.
Judith. And Negan's still alive. Anyone who's read the comic books know that Negan got they did a much years later where it was Negan fucking that was really good.
He's a hobo now. He's gonna go from town to town helping people.
I like that one-off stories though, where he met that woman who was pretending trying to befriend him.
Yeah,
it was good, and he had no Lucille anymore. Judith was killed by the governor's girlfriend in the comic books, yeah. But Steve would know that. And then Steve, you alluded to it. The last kind of story we have, and the last trailer of the night, of course, is we got the newest trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I don't care. I'm loving this. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I didn't think Ghostbusters, the all-female cast, looked great in the commercials. I thought it had potential, but this actually looks great. And we got our first fucking kind of connection to the old world when the phone is picked up and it's clearly Dan Aykroyd's voice. So I'm down with that.
We also see Annie Potts in the trailer.
Right, that's right. Annie's in it. She was secretary.
There was throwbacks to Sigourney Weaver and Zool.
Right. So
we know that Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, and Dan Aykroyd are going to be in it, and of course, in the starring roles, Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things fame, and son of Ivan Reitman, Jason Reitman, is directing. So
right, but didn't they say Rick Moranis is in this as well? Wasn't this his comeback movie?
I don't know. Yeah, I hope so.
I thought we reported that, or maybe it was on the page, but. Littlest hobo. Daryl, give him a shout out back.
Keep on calling me down the road. That's where I'm going to be.
Yes, for anyone who's not Canadian, that's not 45 years old or older, that was from an old Canadian classic, The Littlest Hobo. I heard Eleven's going to turn up at the end of Ghostbusters and fuck shit up. Only if they don't have her egos. You better Lego her egos. Green Bay looks fun. No, I don't. Just kidding. Ghostbusters. Aaron Rodgers doesn't think so. Let's be fair. Stranger Things have happened. Oh, fuck you. Well played, sir. Well played. That Negan Littlest Hobo, right? I love it. Yeah, so, and to piggyback on our last story there, so fans freak out for whatever reasons before shit even happens. We posted this on the page, and people were complaining about these because these toys are out and because it's a legacy fucking movie. What more do you guys want? And another, when they make these movies and there's toys for Star Wars, for Marvel, for any you name it rock movie, they're not making them for us. When they put shoutouts in those movies, that's what they're doing for us. Right. The rest of the movie's for fucking kids, man. That's why there's fucking toys associated with them. So stop complaining every fucking time a movie doesn't live up to your childhood fucking expectations. You're not a kid anymore, and the movies aren't made for you. Star Wars, each fucking generation of Star Wars was made for that generation of kids. The reason why most Gen Xers didn't like the prequels was because we weren't kids when they came out. Steve liked them because Steve is a child. No, I'm kidding. I fucking love you. No, because Steve doesn't live that life, though. He doesn't care. He watches them for what they are. And that's why I was happy when the sequels came out. I was finally at the point where Steve was, where I'm not looking at them as they were made for me. They're not. When we see The Force Awakens, that was kind of made for us because it was a throwback, but it was also made for kids. So I don't know, man. It's kid shit. Stop crying over kid shit, and stop pulling this bullshit saying, "Oh, well, stop fan blaming." No, it's not fan blaming. You're fucking trying to act like you're some kind of victim, and we're victim shaming. That's not the case. You calling out a fucking kids movie for not living up to your expectations is not the same as me calling out the Fast and the Furious for not living up to adult fucking expectations. They're not the same platform.
Do you remember the Ghostbusters cartoon?
Which one? Which one?
The early 90s one, late 80s, early 90s.
No, but there was a Ghostbusters cartoon before the movie came out that was like a bunch of hillbillies.
Okay, so the one after then.
Yeah. The real Ghostbusters. Yeah.
So around that same time, Droids is on, and did you see Droids is finally on Disney Plus?
Yeah, it doesn't hold up well.
No, I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure it doesn't, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Right. Ewoks is on there as well.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Fast and Furious sucks ass, Ryan. I mean, yeah. I would like Fast and the Furious if they just admitted they're superhero movies now.
I'm getting the nod from a younger generation's point of view, saying it sucks.
Yeah, they suck. Just admit you are what you are. That you're not a movie about cars and heists anymore. You're not about being Fast and Furious. You're about superhero physics and family. It's all about family. And when The Rock quits you, I'm just saying, if The Rock quits your franchise, it's a multi-billion dollar franchise, and he had arguably the most successful spin-off movie, and he was in all the successful movies in that franchise, like money earning wise.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, Steve, you're a younger genius, right? And I'm old as fuck. Yeah, we all are, buddy. We all are. Yeah, that's
I just really have the mind of a child, as Ryan said.
Mm-hmm.
well, we both do. I think that's pretty much a given.
As my better half being saying. Mm-hmm.
Oh, your younger generation, he meant, not your younger genius. Fair. That makes more sense.
I like the first one.
What's that?
I like the first one better.
Right, same. Yeah, that's basically it. Any other news that you know of that we missed? Anybody in the crowd?
Yeah. We know now that Kurt Cobain's house is going to be a national landmark, turned into a museum.
No shit. By the way, am I the only person that does this? Am I the only person that does this? That takes Frank's Red Hot Sauce and dumps it on crackers and
I would you get. Yeah, I like it. Hot sauce and crackers.
Taylor would eat that.
Pink. Everybody knows Pink from successful music career. She says that she is going to pay the fine to the Norwegian handball team who refused to wear bikini bottoms.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Good move for her. Good move.
And the Purge, the Forever Purge, has now put the Purge franchise over $500 million.
Really? 500 million, eh? I thought they would. Honestly, I thought they would have been a little bit more by now. Because how many movies have been out? And
they probably did pretty well. Some of it.
Is it just the movies, or do they include the TV series and stuff as well?
I don't know if it says franchise, so
yeah, you assume the shows as well.
Yeah.
Oh well, hey man, good for them. I've still never seen a single one of those movies.
A couple of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be the guy that stays in my house.
Well, watch the original Purge and watch the Forever Purge. I think you, if anything, you're gonna like those two.
Watch the bookends, basically.
Yeah.
The Forever Purge, Blumhouse rules. I hope that you go on other shows, like when you watch other shows like Jordan's show, and you're probably on like a Blumhouse fucking forum as well, Luke. I hope when you're on there, you're doing the shout outs for us like you do for them. I'm not saying we need it, but we'll take it. We'll take the love to you. We like spreading it, and spreading the love. Easy there, Amber. All right.
She's yelling at kids.
She's yelling at kids. Kids, get off the lawn. So Clanny and Welland Clanny. The Clan brothers, the Clanny brothers, I should say, not the Clan brothers, because that's something totally different. But yeah, that's basically been our show. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and if we missed anything, let us know in the comments. We'll try to get to it next week. And yeah, if you have an idea for what you think we should be doing for next week, we will take that under consideration. Although it is getting close to the end of summer, so we may do best summer related movies or something along those lines. We'll figure it out for you though. But I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks to all the new people who have joined. Thanks to all the people that have always been there. And thanks to the Well and Wingnut. Thanks to all the people over at docnet.ca. Don't forget, best place to go to get your internet. Go for the fist bump. Damn mirror. Wonder Twin Powers activate. Form of a douchebag. It's me. Anyways, for the Well and Wingnut, I'm your boy Zeus. I hope you enjoy the show and you all have a great week, and we will see you next time. Peace to you.